What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here, talking today about the PlayStation 5 Slim, because there have been a lot of rumors and talk about this weird revision console for the last couple months. Ever since it was initially, well, sort of leaked, everybody was curious as to how cheap it was going to be, when it's going to come out, and what it's actually going to look like. A name like PlayStation 5 Slim sort of implies that to some degree it's going to be smaller, right? Well, it turns out that's not the case. Today we finally have some leaked photographs of the PlayStation 5 Slim, and it looks like it maybe needs to go on a diet. Let's discuss. Hope you're having a great day. If you could like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm actually filming this at QuakeCon. Tell you what, we'll film this video, give this video a like, subscribe. We'll walk out on that balcony at the end of the video and I'll show you this crazy cool view here at the Gaylord Texan QuakeCon. Now, first and foremost, why are we getting so many big leaks about the PlayStation 5 Slim? For such a top secret piece of hardware, it's really weird that we know so much about it. It seems like this thing is actually going to be coming out here in maybe a matter of weeks. The rumor is that we're going to get a upcoming PlayStation showcase possibly in September, revealing the console, talking more about the PlayStation Q, which obviously is that weird streaming handheld thing that they're working on. It's like a remote play only device. And then they're going to release it here for the holiday of 2024. Now, I guess I'm partially confused by a couple things regarding this device. First off, it doesn't really look slim. Every leak, every document, every Sony insider that's been discussing this has been calling it the PS5 Slim, and yet it's pretty much the exact same size of the original PlayStation 5 chonker. I mean, it is a tiny bit tinier, but it definitely seems like some of the rumors have been the fact that they're doing this to cut cost. It's not really about making the system smaller. The PlayStation 5's biggest technical drawback has been the fact that it just produces a lot of heat. It's got to have a big cooling coil to actually basically keep it from overheating, and that's why the PlayStation 5 is so big. And I guess even in this revision, they can't really downsize it. They actually need to keep it, well, this same exact size. The discussion is that apparently the point of this is to just make it eventually cheaper. This thing, there's a 99% chance it's still going to be launching at $399, the exact same price of the PlayStation 5 Slim as it currently exists. Or sorry, the PS5 All Digital Edition. The point of the Slim is to eventually make it cheaper. Bring it down to $350 or $375. Maybe this holiday they're going to do some sort of pack-in game. And then this will have no disk drive. The Slim is just going to be a different version of the PS5 All Digital Edition, but as a supplementary thing, you'll be able to buy a disk drive. Now, looking again at this picture of it, it doesn't really convey it, but a lot of the leakers have said that this system is going to actually have a slot, basically, that will let you plug the disk drive into it. Meaning, you can't just plug any old USB Blu-ray player. It's going to be a specific proprietary gadget that you have to plug into it. Now, it sounds like the long-term goal is to get the PlayStation 5 Slim to be $400, the disk drive to be like $50, to make it where technically the standard edition of the PlayStation 5 is going to go from $500 down to $450. Now, that is technically a price drop, but I have talked about this in the past. I wish the PlayStation 5 would get cheaper faster. We are almost 3 years into this console generation, and in most regions, they've actually been increasing the cost of the PlayStation 5. Now, I understand inflation, costs are going up, things like that. But as a gamer, As somebody that isn't invested in Sony stock, I just want everybody to have a PlayStation 5. I want everybody to be able to play Spider-Man. I want people to play God of War Ragnarok. The fact that this system is still so pricey, even with this slim revision, it's to me a bit shocking. Now, a lot of the initial reactions to the display of this, the way it actually looks, have been a lot of shock and awe. A lot of people are kind of being like, okay, if this is the Slim, isn't it supposed to be a bit more tiny? I guess because we've been discussing the PlayStation 5 Slim for so many months now, I think people have kind of hoped themselves up that it would be physically tinier. A lot of the replies to the initial tweets and stuff are people literally being like, this is it? That's just a PlayStation 5 with some speed lines on it. Which, I mean, I guess is fine. As long as it gets cheaper eventually, I don't care too much what it looks like. But I was hoping it would have something to make it look cooler. Like, I mean, I guess the PlayStation 4 Slim compared to the PlayStation 4, I mean, it wasn't that big of a crunch, but that definitely seems like the plan they're trying to repeat. Anybody who remembers this back in the day with the last console generation, Sony came out with the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 4 Pro, and then the PlayStation 4 Slim, but it was never called the PS4 Slim. It was just called the PS4. It was their way of sort of, not only making it where it takes up less space, but it made it where it was a slightly more efficient console. That's apparently what the overall mission of the Slim is. The PS5 Slim is just going to replace the original model. Now, what's this mean in the long run? I think that Sony is trying to figure out a way to keep supplying stuff faster. As it currently exists, the PlayStation 5 is not only the highest selling console in the world by far, other than the Nintendo Switch, because obviously the Nintendo Switch is really big in other markets like Japan. The PlayStation 5 is really dominating. It's picking up speed. It's one of the fastest selling PlayStation consoles of all time, which is impressive because obviously the PS2 and PS4 were really big successes on their own. My thought is that I think they're trying to really clear the road for the next 3 years. I think this is going to be the primary PlayStation console for probably the next 3 years, and then we'll see the PlayStation 6. And I do believe a lot of the leaks that are saying that next year we're going to get the PlayStation 5 Pro. I guess Nintendo has created this idea of the family of systems. The fact that we have the Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo Switch Lite, the Nintendo Switch OLED, all these different slight variations that cost a little bit more or a little bit less. The Nintendo Lite is $200. The Nintendo Switch OLED is $350. I think consoles like PlayStation are beginning to look at that and go, I think they're onto something. I think they're trying to find a way to make the cheapest consoles that are the same ability to play the same AAA games, but in a way that ends up costing them the least. We'll see if it ends up being a success. My initial reaction, though, to the PlayStation 5 Slim is that I don't hate how it looks. I just wish it was a bit more different. I wish it was a bit more slim. But these have just been my off-the-cuff thoughts. I'm currently enjoying a nice weekend of video games with the bros over here at QuakeCon. So if you guys are at QuakeCon, come see me. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you think of the PlayStation 5 Slim and if this seems like a big schmaz. Thanks for watching. Hey, like the video. Okay, let's take a look at this cool balcony, right? Look at this. Whoa. Look at that. Holy crap. That's a hell of a view. Let's... Whoa, whoa. Okay, cool. I'm done freaking out. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.